Hey, what's up? Kirk of Effectatron, and today we're going to take a deep dive into actually creating your reel. Basically this is a video from the Mind and Motion Animate workshop. Both Mind and Motion Fundamentals and Animate still are on sale, and people have been asking, what version of C4D are they up to date? Yes, the C4D user interface is exactly the same as it is now, as well as the Redshift. Everything is from Redshift standard materials up. So yes, everything is up to date and can follow along perfectly. And I keep updating it on the way as well. But this video, we actually dive into Premiere Pro, and I don't teach it like a bunch of shortcuts and stuff about Premiere Pro, because you don't have to have Premiere Pro to do what I do. Basically, what I do is I teach it in a way that teaches you how to edit, how to take everything that we render, and all you're going to see in this video are renders that we render from the course. So things that you made and stuff like that, and that you're going to make throughout the course, and we're going to chop it together. We're going to find music. We're going to learn how to cut to music. We're going to learn how to take still images, make them dynamic and interactive inside, and really just stretch our content as much as possible to make it have energy and be vibrant and really showcase your vibe. Because a lot of people do their reels, and honestly, 99% of reels I see, especially 3D artists, they're boring because, they show these slow shots and stuff, and everybody lets their shots kind of linger too long. And especially when you first start creating, and everybody does this when they first start video editing and everything's way too slow, because you just let it breathe and you let it have all this space, and that's not really a good thing. And so we're going to cut everything up. We're going to make it fast, impactful. We're going to give you as much information about you, the creator, as possible within like 30 to 60 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. And you're going to know exactly what you're capable of at the end of this reel. So, of course, the Mind and Motion class, again, takes you through the entire process of having never opened C4D or Redshift before to actually having an entire reel and teaching you how to edit and post that reel. So this is at the end of the post effects section, the module, and it's near the end of the course. But yeah, again, it's just an entire process, and just had a lot of fun seeing what everybody can make and stuff like that. And so hopefully this is helpful, whether you take the course or not. But you can at least get some tips about editing and putting things together, because not a lot of 3D artists talk about editing and stuff because it's not their strong suit and it's not in the same niche, but it is part of the process. So let's just take a look and dive in, and I really appreciate it. And again, check out all my free resources as well as the link below for the class, which is on sale until the end of April this month, 2025. So check it out. All right, so let's find music for my video. And we're going to say, there's an AI search now. Okay. We're going like an opener. See what pops up. Nope. Not my vibe. Then wave. More my vibe. Too chill. Fun. Okay. Yes, I like this. Fine. Boom. Yeah, see, you probably won't pick music that fast. I've been doing this for years and years. All right, so this is our edit. Okay. Boom, boom. Grab that, drag that in. All right, so first things first, cut the music. So get our music, bring it in, double click it. We have our waveforms here. I'm going to try and see what it looks like here at the end. See, it's 2 minutes long. If I hit I here and do an input here, we now have a 45-second window here. So maybe we can start here. It's pretty loud. I like that. So it's got some dynamic change-ups in it. This bit here, this seems too similar to stay there. So I'm gonna cut it there. So I hit out, and I'm gonna grab this little icon here and bring that down. And it goes down the audio channels. So the video channels at the top, audio channels at the bottom. We have our wavelengths. You can make these bigger so you can see, and this will help us see the beat. And so what did I grab right there in the middle? Because I want to see the middle here. We might end up cutting it right here and just cutting to like... Okay, bit. See, that gives us that nice out logo. Hire me or die. So you've got that coming in. So you can grab that, plop that at the end. Let's go ahead and just cut this back. See this little point right here? Hit plus to zoom in. And you don't have to worry about all the hotkeys and stuff. But what we're doing is just looking at our wavelength and cutting it back. And we're going to hit right click and ripple delete. So that's going to bring in our other clip. So now we basically are going to go from the first clip. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click these and turn them down. Audio gain minus 12 because they were too loud. We were peaking. That's what these red boxes mean. That means it's too loud. We want to live right in here. Okay, did you hear that? Bad cut, bad edit, right? So we want to smooth those out. Normally it's easier than you think to mix this kind of audio. We're just going to go to Effects, Audio Transitions, and Crossfade. And we're going to crossfade, and we're going to lean it more on this side, which means basically the reason I know I'm going to lean it more on that side is because see how this beat ended? And this beat is really like jumping into the middle. And we really just want some of this middle beat to kind of be leading into this while we have that kind of downtime. A little smoother, not great. We could... let's pull it back and pull this up and let's see what this looks like again. Yeah, so we want to use that. Right there. Cut it. Come into this. There we go. And we're hitting C to cut that. Now you can grab the ends. You can cut tool. Obviously, when you get to this part, if you're not experienced editing, you're not going to be as fast. But the workflow is the same, right? And I just really want you... I can't hold your hand through editing your reel, but I can show you kind of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, right? So transition, bring this speed in, and I'm going to hit play. Better, not great. I want to make sure that I get it mainly on this left side. Nope, let's try the other side. Ooh, it's close. We're close. Here's what we need to do, okay? We're going to pull this out. Oops, didn't mean to delete that. We're going to pull this out a little bit more. And listen to this a little bit more. And let that kind of play through. So I want to find this end bit here. I'm just looking at the wavelengths and kind of listening to the tone. And this should kind of mix together a little better. Yeah, so I want to, we're really getting in here and we're getting close. And we want to back this up, pull it out a little more. Really close, we're really, really close. And you may be looking at this, listening to me, and going like, what the hell are you doing? That's okay. You don't have to get this fancy. I just want you to know that you can use pieces of songs. You don't have to like have it perfect. That's really close. I think if we blend that in, it might be all right. Really, really close. Hold Y. We're gonna no, actually we're not gonna do that. Let me think. Honestly, if this bit is the same as the end bit here, really, we just need the end bit. So we just want that. Right? So really, we should be able to just cut this, extend this out as long as we want. Right? Like maybe like that. Right there. Bring this in. And rather than trying to cut it at that point, just add a little end trail off bit that we like. Close. That's better, not ideal. Yeah, it's really, really close now. Move that over like so. Boom. Let's do it again. So what I'm listening to there, what I'm looking for is that seamlessness. I don't want to be able to tell that there's an edit there. I want that end fall off to end my video, and I want it to lead up to it. You can't even tell I cut there. That's what we're looking for. The best type of editing is editing that you didn't know, you don't know people are doing. Okay, it's like special effects. So now we got to figure out where we want this to start. So I like that, but it's all pretty short right now. So let's see what the beginning of this sounds like. Okay, that's about as much of that as I can take. Let's back it up a little bit. I think 3 seconds of that is all you need in your life. Let's see what comes after that. Look for this change in the waveform. I like that. Let's see. Bring this out. Pull this in. Right click. Delete. Here we go. Both of these gain -12. Hey. Ooh. That's a pretty big shift in mood. What comes before this? Okay, so here's the puzzle piece we're doing. We're trying to now get this bit here to connect to this bit. Right? The waveform here is very different from this, so we need this transition piece, right? So we're going to go right here. We need that to transition into this. And then we need something to transition into that from this. There, just like that. So we're looking for these little transition bits and bobs, and together they should give us something pretty nice. Now this is probably more than I need to teach you, but I don't know, hopefully you like watching it. Close. Okay, I think we can go, let's do this. Pull that over this way and pull this over that way as well. That's close. Okay, oops. That's close. So we don't want the beginning of this. I think what we do is we pull this back, pull this over, and we pull this. This is the bit I'm not sure what to do with. See, I think we can do something with that. I just want a good beat. I need one of those like hard hits. Like right here probably. Alright, so this should sound smoother. And we're getting real close here. Yeah, too much of this is bleeding into that. I think we want to hold shift, shorten that up. So it's a quicker transition, and same with that on that side. That's not bad. That's bad though, right there is bad. So maybe we can fix that, bring that in, pull this back, and do a little bit of that action. Am I making this too difficult? We're close. We're so close. I think we just got too many of these hard beats like that. yeah, I think we can bring in a few more beats. We'll hit A, slide everything over. We're going to bring in 1, 2 more beats. Bring this back over. Bring that back over like that. Shorten this up. It's a little long. Yes. That works. Now you've got some dynamics. A little change up in there. Boom, there you go. You got a under 30-second reel. Trails off nice, it cuts good. It's got a good dynamic intro. It's got a little change up in there for some variation in the end. Now, obviously, you don't have to do all that. If you download like a 30-second version, a lot of the stuff from Premium Beat and stuff have that stuff built in. I just don't like a lot of repetition, and I like editing sound and music. I do it a lot. So there you go. So I just want to show you kind of how you can take bits and pieces of music like this and clip them together. You can do it with a lot of stuff. It works really nice. So there we go. So now we can save it. That's the hard part. Really, though, that is the hard part. So basically, what do we got here? We got some clips. So you want to start off with like, okay, what do you want the first thing to be? Maybe you want it to be your intro, your logo. Boom, like there's my logo. So now here's the key, right? We can do something, you just want to match stuff with music. Here's what most people do. They'll do that. They're like, okay, there's a 5-second clip. They'll be like, here's a clip. And I'll just pile these in. We'll just cut that down. Sure, we got a pirate ship clip. Why not? And they'll just start packing things in. So then when you hit play, you listen to it. And you're like, okay, that's looking good. No. Yeah, so the first thing, the most common thing that people do when they first start off editing or they're not experienced editing is they make every clip way too long. And here's what I mean. So here's a shot. We have all those nice, good impact beats there. And we're not doing anything with it visually. You need to combine your audio and your video. So what do I mean? Well, we could just come in here and like, let's just start cutting to different clips. Just line them up with the beat. Do another clip. Cut in here. Different clip. But you're going to run out of clips pretty quick, right? If you do it that way. So it's going to be like... Right? You're going to really run out of clips fast. So we don't want to do that because we don't have a ton to render. If you do have plenty of clips, totally do that. But here's how you can do stuff if you don't have a ton of clips and still make it dynamic. We're gonna hit play. Right, so we have that boom, 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 right? So you're looking at the waveforms, and what you want to do is here in these waveforms, like these are where you want your edits to be. You can hit M and make a marker, I think, yeah. And then marker and marker, marker, marker. So you see you have these keyframes there, right? We can let the first one slide. But here's the thing. Let's go here. Let's see. And that's our cut tool. We're going to cut, 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 cut on our markers. We're just cutting it. Nothing's changed. It's going to play back the same. But now what we can do is come in here and change the attributes in the effects panel of this. We can either change the color of these things. We can change the scale of things. We can change the position if we want. I wouldn't recommend that one. Rotation, I probably wouldn't recommend either. But maybe 180 would be fun. Not really. But you could do something like that. Even if it's just a small push in, like 130, and then you push out to like 114, and then back to 100, and then back into 175, and back out to 100 again. Right? And then you can add a few more beats in here because you have those extra beats. You can't see them behind the timeline there. So cut and cut. This beat will make snap in again, or yeah, probably push in, and the last one will push in as well. maybe really far, like that. So now you still have the exact same clip. You haven't changed anything. You haven't rendered anything else out, and you haven't added anything except you've tweaked a few things in between shots, and now you have a much more dynamic intro. Right? I think I'm off beat on one click here. Yeah, there's a beat I missed right there. Rhythm's gonna get you, all right? The rhythm is gonna get you. It can be a small tweak. It doesn't have to be huge every time. Yeah, and don't be afraid to use black space, like nothing at all. And then those kind of things, that's where you throw in the flash frames, baby. So I know I'm trying to, it's just so ingrained in me. I'm trying to slow this down in a way that makes you understand what I'm looking for, why I have it, and what decisions I'm making, and how to make chicken salad out of crap, right? So let's go ahead, and we've got something here. You can match things like this kind of sound here, this, like that drum roll. Does that match this kind of imagery? Kind of. So let's throw that in there. Right, but let's speed it up. Drum rolls faster. Speed it up. Pull it back. Started at the start of the time there. Maybe you sped it up too fast, so we're going to right click, go to speed, and say like just 150. Okay. There we go. So now we have, not too bad. Decent match on action, right? And we're going to cut it right there. So like normally you'd think, okay, it needs to be longer. No, just cut it. Cut it into something else. To a push-pull, why not? Right? Just like that. And so, boom, you're into something new. So this bit, what do we do there? What do we do in this black space? How do we bring it out of the black space rather than a hard cut? Because it's not a hard beat. It's kind of like that shh. So you want to look at transitions to kind of match that audio effect. Once again, an additive dissolve or a dip to white is a pretty good one. So dip to white, when you have kind of that high rise kind of sound, we're going to pull that down and we're going to match it so it fits that per first little, yeah, okay. A little fast, pull it back. Yeah, so let's bring it back a little bit before. Okay, so we might need to double it. So I think I like that, but I want it to kind of, I want it to feel like we're looking at this longer. There's a little bit of an edit. That's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, but I don't feel like it's on there. It's on screen long enough. So how do I, if I don't go back and render it out more, but I want it to be this speed, how do I, use something visually in this space to extend that? Well, here's another way to use one item and make it work for you in two places. So we're going to hold Control-C and go over here and hit Control-V, paste that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to not, zoom in. We're not going to dip to white, so we're going to delete that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this clip, we're going to right click, and we're going to go to speed, and we're going to reverse it. So basically, this should look like it goes forward and then right from left to right, and then it's going to go from right to left. Right, so you can like change things up like that. So then now you've got that effect. So you have that hitting on the beat too, which is kind of fun. Or you could also try and play it backwards, as in like flip it. So instead of reversing the speed, what if we flip it? So we're going to go ahead and go to, where is it? I think we type it in over here. Flip. Yeah, horizontal flip. Drag and drop this effect. Just click and drag that in and drop it on your effect. So now It's the exact same effect as reversing it, isn't it? Flipping it around horizontally. So yeah, there you go. Let's reverse it too. It should just look normal now. Yeah. tripping myself up. Yes, so let's just flip it. It's the same as reversing it. So let's time that a little better on that beat. See this beat right here? That's what I want. Well, this doesn't quite reach that. Let's see if we can stretch this out just a bit. 125. So it's a little slower. There we go. Not bad. Let's punch into. Punch. If you want to. And probably speed it up and make it even shorter. Like, yeah, there we go. Let me bring something else in. Pretty quick on that. Yep, and you just do the same kind of thing. Rhythmically approach everything, make everything way shorter than you need to be. You can always come back and fill things in, but go through, get all your work in there, and go through the speed of it. So what we can do now is, rather than have our clip here, we can hit, just go through your markers like that. Hit space and hit space bar to play, and then M to mark. Mark. Put your hand up, Mark, put your hands up, Mark, put your hands up, Mark. Feel free to Mark, right? Just have some fun with it. They're pretty much, just headbang while I'm editing. I'm gonna throw my hands up. Let's just get silly, pretend like nobody's watching. Bam. And that's where you put your logo again. Back in there, intro right here. Boom. Is that still? I don't want the still. I want the actual whatever. Anyway, basically. Nice, right? Pretty cool. Boom. There, he's got to fill in the middle. So, let's go ahead and let's keep going. So we'll keep adding in clips. We've got still images here, and we're just going to try to drag and drop them in, and we can rearrange them in a little bit. We're just going to have fun, make sure we get as much stuff in there as we can. Try not to back similar images back and forth. I think this shot after that shot just doesn't, it's too much of a clash. But something like this might look good there. So let's say we got this still here, and we just want a little bit of movement, because from going from here to that still shot is kind of boring. So still shot, what we need to do is you can hit up on the arrow keys to go to the start of this, and we're going to keyframe the scale, and just like in Cinema 4D, we're going to go to the end of it, back it up a frame, and just punch it in a little bit. We also can do the position, and we're going to zoom that up a bit. Obviously we need to go back to the beginning and fix that position so that it's not 540. It's always 960 by 540, the default, by the way. You also can hit that button right there. Cool. So now we have, right? So we just have that little bit of motion with that one. The other ones that are still, they're fine. Like, they're so fast that they can be still. You don't have to do something on every single shot. That's the key. You want balance. You want to really match it with the music, which is why music's so important, because it really drives the whole piece. All right, so then we got a shoe. That's cool. I like the shoe shot a lot. Bring it in here, maybe like this. Okay, you hear that? Right. That might be a good time to do something that's like a nice camera move or something like that. Like a good animation shot would be good to have there. So rather than all of our stills that we brought in, we have our videos here. So we can see we got a car slide. Ooh, baby. That looks good. So that is what we're going to put we're going to pull this back a little bit and start more towards the edge. And what if we just start with that? Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Put this up. We want one more shot in between there. Whoosh. That's too much of a shot. That's too, well, it's kind of cool. It's our bool. We want it still. We want it one more static shot real quick. Oof. The mech. Yeah, let's throw the mech in there. So the mech comes in big, and we want him to fit in right here. Now, the mech is big, so he's too big for our frame, but that actually works for us. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of a move, like just barely. So keyframe that and slide it over to the left. You have that little tiny window here. Go to the right and keyframe that over just a bit more to the left, and make sure you put that all the way to the edge of the frame there. So now we've got this. So we have this kind of match on action, right? So we're moving right to left, and we keep moving right to left. I think that's important to match those two things together. God, that shot looks good. Bop, 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 bop. All right, so we come back into quick boom, 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 which we can intersplice stills and video together. Hopefully you're not annoyed. Be ready to listen to your music over and over and over and over. It doesn't even faze me anymore. Ready? I'm bobbing my head like there's music going. That's cool looking. Yeah, we don't want that there. We want this somewhere cooler, like with a still. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Anyway, so you can like going through pieces. Sometimes I'll just like, you know, where I see a piece, I'm like, oh, I know where that needs to go, and just kind of throw it in there. And we always shift things around later, but we're going to do our quick little whip like that. That's a cool little shot. We're going to do some stills in here first. So we'll go ahead and grab our phones. That's a cool shot. Drag it in, slide it down, make it tight. There we go. We'll extend that over to the start of this. Let's see, hit right on the arrow keys to go over frame by frame. We'll start it right there. Shoe, yes. Bring that over. See the edit, delete. Bring that over. Clip it. Render lights, pyramid, greeble, phone test mech, low poly. That's good. Bring that in. Cut, delete. We're making these all really short. So from here to here is like, you may looks like a second or something. No, these are frames. We're going from 9 seconds and 3 frames to 9 seconds and 10 frames, right? Or 8 frames even. So we're fast. Right? Yeah. Pretty good. Landscape. So you think that like, oh, it needs to be up there for at least a second, right? No. No, it does not. No, it does not. It could be up there for half a second, a third of a second, and people will see it and know that your work. And also when you do stuff like that, people are like, dang, he's been doing a lot of work, right? Because you have so many renders. You just want to render out just some cool stuff that you like, right? People ball, people city, people that, people this. And I'm just making them shorter up there before I bring them in, like so. And I'm bringing it in at the top, trimming them up, and then pulling them down to the bottom. So let's start over from the beginning. Let's hit save real quick, and here we go. Right. So let's do this. Let's cut this like right here. And then cut it to like end bits, pull it back down. So there'll be a cut on the action of this. We need another cut in the middle here. So we'll hit Y and slide it a bit. So we should have 3, right? So we have like a little chunks cut out in the time of that. right? So there we go. I just cut out like 3 or 4 frames here and there on the beat. So we have the same feel of the animation, but we're getting those little for the beat. Yeah. And right now you're just like probably watching and being like, will you cut mine for me? No. But here we go. So let's do a city, bring that in. And we'll go back to some stills here for a second. So we're just kind of splitting up between stills and animation. We're going to try to get them just a little like that. Boom. And they need to be pretty interesting looking stills. There we go. I think the sync one might be a little too boring. Well, but we'll see what we get. Blender. I don't have an avocado one. There we go. Boop, boop. Boom. And then we can go back into video. Of course. Of course. Wee. That's fun. See, video, like, it's so easy for video to take up too much time. We'll start with right here. Right, so let's do the same thing with that. Send it out all the way. And we will just take it, and at this point, we're going to get to here. We're going to cut, go to this point, cut, and delete, pull it back. And one more time, cut from here to here, delete, and pull that back. So now we have this. Right, it's just the same exact thing, same clip, but we made it interesting just by cutting to the music. Bool, that's a fun one. Whoosh, like that. That would be a quick shot. And we just maybe we can use that for just a little frame there. Because that one's so dynamic on its own, we can just let that one be. We don't have to cut that one. Let's see what's this camera shot here. Yeah. Definitely going to be one we need to cut into. It's pretty cool though. But again, and the reason I'm pulling it into the second one before I pull it down is it's just nice to have this space to work, because if we bring it straight in, we can override the stuff, and we don't want to do that. I don't want to misclick and do that. So we're just going to come in here and cut the big chunks out of this one. Cut all the way to there, and then cut to there, and then cut all the way to there, cut to there, all the way to there. Okay, so we're going to delete the big chunks and really hone in this last little bit. Okay, so we're going to grab this, pull it back, grab this, pull it back, grab this, pull it back, and voila, pull it down. And I mean, it's such a simple effect, but it totally works, right? I mean, we're not doing anything, we're not pushing in, it's totally fine. Cloth animation, here we go. Whoosh. That's a cool effect. Bring that in, just let that be. There's just a lot going on. Yeah, you don't have to do anything with that. Fish, oh, fish eye, right? Hair, okay, here we go. There we go, nice. We might can do the same thing with him, but we'll cut him, cut that hair. We'll just do two boom booms to that one. I won't do too many. Push pull camera, did we ever bring that back in? Ooh, the running shot, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get that like, that. I like that. That's gonna be a pretty long one. So that's kind of a match on action. Maybe back it up. Yeah, so we pull that one back to there. It's gonna go. Yeah, and cut. I like that. Ship we. Boom. This one we can definitely do the same kind of thing where we cut bits out, and you can do the same thing throughout the whole thing. It's not a bad thing to have like a repeating kind of theme throughout it. We're actually gonna drag that in and delete that. Pull this in like that. Oops, pulled that back too far. Not my favorite. I think that timing is just slightly off. Yeah. And I'm going to hold Y, hit Y, and just kind of make it more like a, you see this is what I'm seeing here is the start of the frame and the end of the frame. Really pull that one back. Whoa. There we go. It looped. Went back to the beginning. I don't want that. I don't like that cut. There we go. I like that. We need... Yeah, maybe we can use this. Boom, boom. Maybe that'll work. And here's a quick cut. And if you don't like the way something looks, you can like tile it or something, you know, if you want. So you could take this and, you know, scale it down to like 25% or I guess 50%. Slide it over here in the corner, you know, and then you could put another clip in there if you have extra, or if you want to stack these, you can hold Alt and drag it up and, you know, make a variant, just drag it over. And you can do the same thing with this, like as you do with the editing, right? So, well, we need to drag it over further, but just for the sake of example, we won't keep this, but for the sake of example, we could come in here like so, and then in the stack, just kind of offset these to go with the music. So they'd come in and they'd kind of be like, right? So they'd come in like that. They need to all be the same length at the bottom, but mismatch at the top. Pull that over. So they come in and they go, right? So if you time that with the music, you go like, and you just have one image, but it's showing up like that. It's kind of a cool way to do something like that. So there's just an idea for you there. Don't always have to do everything full screen. We want to cut this in like that. Yeah, and then again, with this video transmission, I think that's really good to do a dip to white. Slide that down. And let's do a slower dip all the way to the end of that time. There we go. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we're almost done. And you can see we've gone through a lot of our footage already, and we're only 22 seconds in. So when you get your song and you're like, okay, it needs to be a minute, minute and a half. No, it does not. Keep it under 30 seconds. Okay? I want to not check my watch while I'm watching a video. I don't want to take my eyes off your video. I want to know that it's going to be over soon and that it's, you know, it's quick, it's done. I'm not lingering. I'm not like, okay, how much longer does this have? You know, keep it very simple. You can go back and revisit shots you've already used pieces of. All right, like that's a good shot. Something like that. Right. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? I'm not sure I have all of my shots in here from the course. I didn't grab everything. I thought I had enough, but here we go. Oh, another thing. You can totally throw in like time lapses and stuff if you want. If you want to record yourself making some stuff, do that. Bring it in. Speed it up and do like 5,000. Oh, let's do even more. Let's do 9,000. There we go. And tighten it up even more. Maybe even speed it up even more. And do like 19,000. There we go. So it's like, right? So you kind of get this like vibe that you know what you're doing, and this is what you're doing. This is what you're providing. You're providing this cool atmosphere and color. Let's cut this again and do this last little bit. Slide it over to the finished product. There we go. Okay, so now we have these three here. I'm just doing plus and minus to scale and zoom out. Right? So there you go. And you can end, make sure you get to the very end of that as well. Hit Y, grab the bear, slide it all the way over. Oops. We're lost. There we go. We got to the end of it. So it's not really a good ending. So let's just fake the ending and grab our shot that we used. This is a neon retro city. Use that. Effectatron. Effectatron procedural retro city. All media. Okay. Doesn't want. I guess I don't have any there. Procedural city. Retro city. Textures. Did I thought I saved it out. Please hold. Ah, here it is. So now you can grab that city thumbnail or something like that you want and bring that in. Boom. Boom. See, edit, delete, pull it back. There we go. So now we have the time lapse. It's a pretty good way to add filler that's interesting to look at. Right? Something like that. Cut this back, pull it back. I think I have a time lapse of my wine, which I did not bring in. My wine. Lollipop we made. We have all kinds of things we've made. And obviously you're not limited to what you've made in the course. You can definitely add in your own stuff and stuff you've made for sure. Let's go ahead and do wrong thing. Oh no. Try that again without misclicking. Effectatron. Workshop. We have the models pack. Obviously, we have like these fun shapes to be made. With that, we can bring that in. See, edit that. Boom. Bring in more stuff that we didn't think we needed. And just kind of bring in a few more shots. Grab that wine bottle that we rendered out. And the lotion product. I think that'd be a good one to put in your reel as well. So what is that, week 9? Lotion. Open that one. And where did I put my wine bottle? There we go. I've got my wine time lapse here. They already have music too. Don't worry. We're going to cut it out even shorter and start right there. And cut right to the end. There we go. Drag that in with just the audio, or just the video, which is this tool right here. And speed this up even more. We want the duration of this to be about 5 seconds. So we're going to click in here and say 0.5. Say OK. And there we go. That's probably going to be too long. So we'll do even shorter. We'll do 3 seconds. So say 3 seconds. Boom. We'll see how that looks. We might cut out the middle of this. There we go. And just cut it down to the end. Let's see. I don't love this. I think this is cool. I think I end it right there. I think we don't show the city. We get rid of that. We can definitely show the wine lesson and bring in this final bit as like a still. What's this say FU for? What's this? Oh, fun shapes. FU. All right. Pull this back and bring this in like that. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. And we'll keep coming in with a few more stills. Oh, the dynamics one. That's a good one. That's fun. Bring that in. And yeah. Running. We don't need that. Rolling cubes. We have that. Pirate music loop. We've done that. Marble stair loop. We haven't done that yet. Whoosh. Let's do from right there on. Okay. Boom. Cut it back. And we need just 1 or 2 more. Hair, fish eye, car slide, car. We could probably just do a car render. Really? Let's do some renders. What else do I got? Any cool renders? The pool's not bad. I mean, the phone one's pretty good. I like the phone one. Let's do a short click, click, in and out. I and O is what that is. And then we'll go ahead and grab. Oh yeah, the lotion. We didn't do that. Lotion. We'll throw that in there. So here's the thing, you're going to think you're running out of stuff, and then you get to the very end, and you're like, oh yeah, actually, I wanted to make sure I added this, make sure I added that. And you can just go back in and drag and drop stuff in there where you need. I do want this shot in there somewhere. So let's pull it back and just throw it in somewhere over these quick cuts. Somewhere. Maybe like in between these two. Okay, we'll try that. We'll come back to that in a bit. And we just want one more island. That's cute. Dust, city. It's not bad. That's not my favorite thing I've made. Dragon. Bus. We've done that. It's the Blender Studio, the avocado. Let's just grab an image, just a render of our car. Because cars are just cool looking, right? So let's go ahead and right click and import and bring in our car. All right, grab our car, bring it in, cut it down. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see where we're at. We'll save and we'll go back to the beginning. And here's the thing, we can go back here to the beginning and we can hit tilde, and it's gonna make this full screen. Here we go. Boom. And just like that, in under 50 minutes, you've got your intro reel made. Look, it's going to take you a lot longer than that. It will. I've been doing this for 20 years. And, I picked my music out in about 30 seconds. And I cut it down and put it all together very quickly. I've done this in fields where it needs to be done fast. Sports, live events, things where it's like in the news and you have to be the first one to get it out. So I am well versed in what I'm trying to create and how to do it. So it's going fast. If it takes you a long time, do not feel bad. Okay? It's going to take you a while. But the things I want you to take away from this is that you can do it, right? There's, I don't have like a ton of content. I only use stuff I have from the class plus as stinger of my intro. So you have access to everything I just used. You can create your own song. You want it to be fast, under 30 seconds. Doesn't feel like in these 30 seconds, you can tell what I can do. You can see that I'm capable of creating some animation, some cool, realistic looking things, some MoGraphy stuff, as well as just some fun things and even some cool time lapses to create cool things. So you can tell just by a basis of this that I have a pretty good idea of just how to do things in Cinema 4D and make them look good. You didn't need more than 30 seconds to know that. There you go. And you didn't need to see more than like 1 second of any clip. Most clips are under a second long. Sounds crazy, but it works. So what I would suggest you do is cut your video together, see how long it is, and then try to cut every clip you have in half and see if you can make that work better. Because even if you're just cutting it so that it's like you're punching in, right? Like, I don't love this move. So I'm actually going to basically cut it and then slide it forward. And actually, I'm just going to just zoom in further. So it should be like a different, edit and fix, pull it in and keyframe that at a tighter shot. So it should be like, I don't like how it lifts up there at the end though. I need to make sure I keyframe this as well and go ahead and pull it up. So we don't have any effects, we don't have any like overlays, we don't have lens flares, we have a few transitions, we don't have lower thirds, we don't have text on screen. You don't need all of that. You just need to sell your vibe and let your work speak for itself. Even though you may not think it looks great, it does. It does look great. It really does. And it's where you're at and it's what you can offer. And that is it. You just need to show off your work in a way that feels like you. I like this vibe. I like this energy. This is something that I'm happy to put out there and show you, okay? So you need to feel the same way about yours. It's okay if you get it done and you don't like it. Sleep on it, right? Come back to it, watch it again later, take a break. It's not going to come to you as naturally as it does for me, most likely. Again, yeah, I'm just better. No, I've just been doing it for a really long time, and you can't shortcut experience. You really can't. I've been doing editing longer than I've been doing 3D. So basically, good luck. Have at it. Check out the next video, which is going to be just the rules to follow and things to get you going. Just your little checklist while you're working on it and when you get started, just to make sure that you maybe didn't miss something, that you could up your work a little bit more and just kind of fine tune it a little bit more to add a little more punch to it. All right. Good luck. Check out the next lesson. You know, I almost forgot to tell you how to export it. All right. So you're going to go hit Control M or go over here to the Export tab. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the stills. We're going to export it out as Effectatron M plus M or equal M plus M real. Okay. I don't know if it'll let me do a plus sign, but we'll see. Render max quality, blah, blah, blah. BBR pass 20, totally fine. And just choose where we're saving that. Week 10, save. And then we're going to go ahead and hit export and let it do its thing. All right, there you go. And it's only 30 seconds long, so it's not going to take that long. So great. All right. Now you know. And then you can take that, upload that to whatever site you want, LinkedIn, your Facebook page or website, whatever you want. Yeah, share it. Send it to me. I want to see it. But I'll tell you that again in the next lesson.